Hello, my name is Leslie KEE. I'm from Singapore. I've been living in Tokyo and New York for the last 15 years as a photographer. So today I'm going to share a little bit about myself and how people and photography has inspired me all these years and how inspirations connect me to the world. This is a photo of me when I was a child. This is the only photo I have when I was a child. I have never met my father. My family was very poor. I was raised up by my mother, my auntie, and my grandmother. So we are a small family, but we're very happy every day. I have a proper education, and I think I'm no different from any other children too. At the age of 13, my mother asked me what I want for my birthday present. It's the first time that she asked me in my life. So immediately I told her that I wanted a camera. This is my self-portrait when I was 13 years old. Wow, the reason is very simple. Because I do not have a picture of myself when I was a child. I really want to have those pictures as a memory. So I decided to have this camera so that I can capture pictures of my younger sister. She was only 6. So my sister became the first model of my life. And that also began the journey of my photography life because I realized that by taking photos, I can really make people happy by capturing a smile. I learned how to smile by using this camera too. So anyway, 4 months later, in August 4, in 1984, 4 months after my birthday, my mother passed away. She was only 39 and I was 13. So to support my family, I joined my auntie to go to work in a Japanese factory. And that's when my life changed. Japan. Well, I worked in Japanese factory for 8 hours in the weekends and 4 hours in the weekdays after school. And somehow it was by fate that I began to be so interested in Japanese culture. I was so impressed about how Japanese work, the way they think, and every precise thing they would do to make it perfect. It was so different from my country and people around Asia. Not saying that people in Asia is not doing well, but Japanese is just so perfect. So that really impressed me. The way they make onigiri, how the plastic is being opened, everything was just so perfect. Even the bottle you open, everything was just so perfect. Like if compared to other countries, somehow it's something missing. So that really made me understand why Japanese people, because they are perfectionists. So anyway, one day, a Japanese friend of mine in the Japanese factory gave me a very special present. It's the first time I have this kind of present in my life. It's a small cassette tape with lots of Japanese music in it. And I said, I didn't know Japanese music because I didn't understand Japanese language, but somehow it was something very different. So I began to listen to Japanese music, not knowing the language, and somehow the music and the melody captures my heart. And in 1984, Japan music, drama, and culture was a big boom in Asia. So I became one of the big fans of this Japanese music culture and drama. And among all the Japanese music I have listened to, there's one artist that captured my heart. Even though I do not know the language, I remember her song and the sound and her voice just somehow give me certain inspirations in my life that I couldn't express. Somehow, she reminded me of my mother's voice. Somehow, she reminded me of something very important in life, which I didn't know how to explain, but it was something very special. Her name is Yumi Mastoya. In short, it's called Yumi. Yumi is one of the most influential and amazing singer-songwriter in Japan. They used to call her the Queen of New Music. So, by the way, this is the first album record I ever bought in my life when I was 15. I used all my savings to send money to my friends in Japan by pen friend. Remember those days, there's no internet. So I've used postcard, write to my friend and tell them what I want. I tell them exactly what I want and they send me the albums through the package. So it became a very treasured thing in my life. So music became a very important inspiration to me. Through her music, I began to be interested in music. So as I listened to lots of music, there's one more song that really touched my heart, and that is We Are the World. I can never forget the moment when I listened to the song. I cried over the television and radio. I remember that on that day, the entire world played the same song on the same moment, regardless of the country. And it just give me the hint that I'm not alone. There are many, many people in this world that need help. There could be something we can do. From when I was in Singapore, it's very amazing for me to see the Western artists gather together to make one song written by Mr. Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, produced by Quincy Jones. And that song just hit the world and tell us the importance of helping each other. So that song really inspired me to tell myself that maybe one day I can also make something like We Are the World in Asia. But I was too young. I wasn't very sure if I could make it. But that was something in my heart that I always keep it. So I decided to leave Singapore when I was 18 and went backpacking. This is my backpacking bag that I still have it in my apartment for the last almost 25, 30 years. I have been traveling for about 18 countries during those 3 years. I tried to capture as many people's smile as possible when I was traveling in those 3 years, with all the money I have on those days. I traveled from Southeast Asia to India, Nepal, Tibet, Bangladesh, Pakistan. Anything I can think of by using the cheapest ways to meet different people in the world, just to find inspiration and find what I can do for the world. And I realized that what I did to my sister, I can do the same thing to the children in the world. I began to capture the smiles of children that I meet. And wherever I go, I will take pictures of their smile, of who they are, whether they are in the streets or they are in the little house. And I continue to photograph these children. And I have captured more than maybe 5,000 pictures of children in those 3 years. Those days, there was no digital camera. So I have to make a point to take the pictures, save them in the film before I leave to another country, go to a developing factory or lab to develop the photos and give to them as a present. Some children, I don't have a chance to meet them again, but by some good luck, I managed to meet some children and give them as a present. So I began to realize there's something I can do for the world, but it's still far away from that We Are the World dream. There's one photo I want to share with you all. This is one of my most important photos in my life. It's shot in 1989 when I was 18 years old. I was in Varanasi, India. I remember that was the first time I arrived. I went all the way to the Ganges River. I probably paid about 10 rupees to somehow persuade one Indian friend that I met to row me to the middle of the Ganges River to take these pictures. And it became a very important pictures of my life. Because this photo has told me that life is about joy and hope if you believe it. The Indian culture, they all goes to this river and they see from the sunrise to the sunset, everything happened in that place. It was just a very, very special place, and it became a very important picture of my life. So I decided that I want to actually pursue my career as a photographer from this photo. I saved all my money that I have. I borrowed money from my auntie and my relatives, and I came to Japan in 1993. It wasn't easy in the beginning because back in 1993, for Asian students to work in Japan or to pursue a career in Japan was really not easy. Especially I'm a Chinese. With Chinese, they would say you probably work in a Chinese restaurant or you work as a massager, but nobody imagined a Chinese guy like me wants to be a photographer. It was kind of like very far away. But somehow, I was so inspired by Yumi Matsutoya and all the Japanese culture that nobody can take away that dreams from me. So for those 5 years, I worked very hard in many, many part-time jobs to save the money to pay for my school fees, send money back to Singapore, and also pay for my photography school. And with the lots of help of people in the industry, I finally became a photographer in 1998, 5 years after studying in Japan. So for those 15 years, from 1998 to now, 15 years as a photographer, I think I'm very lucky to be able to meet so many amazing artists that really inspire me. And I have to be very thankful to all these artists because I think they're all true artists, and I call them dream makers. So today, I brought some of my very important, precious snaps, some of the very special to share with all of you all, and hope yeah, you all can recognize who they are. First, fashion designers. Mr. Karl Lagerfeld and Mr. Yohji Yamamoto, they are one of the most amazing fashion designers who has been making amazing fashion designs to inspire all the fashion believers. Supermodels like Kate Moss and Naomi Campbell, they tell us two things. Skin color and height doesn't really matter. Music artists. I love music. Too many to mention. But to mention two, now I will feel like suggesting my most favorite two artists recently is Pharrell Williams and Lady Gaga. I'm sure you listen to Happy. Everybody is happy. I think the two artists, they really make a big difference in music industry. And they did give a very special message to a lot of people, regardless of nationality and languages. Obviously, in Japan, we are all proud of all the Japanese athletics. I love Miss Mao Asada, the figure skater, and Mr. Ichiro Suzuki, because they never stop making Japanese proud. Filmmakers and photographers, very important for me because I'm a photographer. I'm inspired by lots of filmmakers and photographers. And to name two, I would say Mr. Kitano Takeshi and Mr. Mara Testino, because they make the most wonderful works and they really inspire lots of creators. And not to forget, the most important one is peace activities. Yoko Ono. She never stopped telling us the importance of the word peace. So, I think I'm very lucky to meet all these amazing artists. A lot of my works can be seen here and there. I think people tell me that I'm a very good portraiture photographer. So, actually, I've shot more than 1,000 magazine covers in the last 15 years. And maybe to be exact, I have probably shot more than 5,000 fashion editorials in different countries, and especially in group shots, because I love human power. A lot of my works can be seen in Japan and Asia especially. For example, you can see a lot of my works in advertisements. And of course, you can see all my works in music, because I love music. Photo albums and make covers of albums are my favorite job, actually. And posters of drama, movies, and musicals. Well, anyway, I'm not here to show off how much I have done, but I just want to share with you, all these amazing artists have actually inspired me so much and worked hard to work with them and got closer to the world by making my We Are the World project possible. And somehow, after I became a photographer for almost 6, 7 years, I began to question myself, did I really achieve what I want in my life? Is becoming a fashion photographer and celebrity photographer everything to me? Or was there something missing in my life? And as I was thinking, in 2004, this one thing once again changed my life. I'm sure none of you all forget this moment. The Sumatra Disaster. I was living in New York one day. I can never forget the moment when I watched TV and they reported that places in Thailand and Indonesia is having a hard time. And then I tell myself, oh my God, that is the moment. I can do something like We Are the World. So I decided to use all my savings as a photographer for 6 years. I spent 2 years traveling in 12 different countries, shooting 300 Asian artists for 2 years to make a big photo charity book called Superstars. And obviously, I put my favorite artist, Yumi Master, as the cover, and the other 299 artists in the book. This is my first photo charity book I ever done in my life. The money was all donated to the victims of the Tsunami disaster. So I used this opportunity to spread my concern and my support to the victims in Asia. This is one of the biggest photo exhibitions that I've done when I was 36 years old. And obviously, I used this opportunity to exhibit my early works when I photographed when I was traveling in Asia. So my life work as a photographer, doing charity, and doing motivation speaker starts from there. 2 years later, in 2010, I made my second photo charity book. I call this Super Tokyo. I photographed 1,000 Japanese people in Japan, and combine them all into a photo book because I want to express that we're all born naked and we are all born from our mother's body and we all should live happily with who we are. And I donated all the money to the woman in Asia who needs financial support to pay for delivery children in Asia especially. And then I continue to do a lot of exhibitions to show my works to as many people as possible. And then in 2011, Tsunami Disaster in Japan occurred. So I traveled to Tohoku 1 week later after the earthquake to take photos of the earthquake disasters areas so that I can think of an idea to how I can make Japanese rebuild the nation. I come up with my third photo book called Love and Hope. I assemble all the pictures I have for the last 8 years shooting 200 women in the world and express their love and concern to the Japanese community. I make photo exhibitions, I do lots of talk shows, I do lots of live shootings to express my concerns to rebuild the nation from that moment, as you can see from here. So anyway, I use my new idea to express my thought and my concern for the society to communicate. So I started my own publications called Super Magazines, where I combine the collaborations of artists in different respects. For example, art, fashion, and music. Family and love. Art and unity. And obviously, strong super love. This is one way where I use my way to communicate and express my message. And another way that I use is obviously the social media. I use Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to talk to my friends who probably want to speak to me and communicate with them as much as I can. So, but last but not least, I want to make it quick that the word inspirations is what I want to spread with all of you. I think we all have the chance to become what we want to do. Inspiration is every day. Inspiration is everything we see in front of us. So do not forget to grab the inspiration and put them in your dreams, connect them, and let's make a better world tomorrow together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.